Hello, this is Noelle from Team Justin Hill. We want to welcome you to Justin's podcast. Thanks for downloading and subscribing. We hope that you will be encouraged, inspired, and empowered throughout your career, business, relationships, your entire life. Please email us and tell us how this podcast has helped you at mail@justinhillofficial.com or connect with us through Justin's website, justinhillofficial.com, or on social media. Now, let's join Justin for some truth.
Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us today as we are coming to you from the sunny, bright, and very blessed Third Floor Records studios. Let's get started with our top of the day truth. I am loved and I am worthy. Now let's say it again. I am loved and I am worthy. Doesn't that feel great? You are loved and you are worthy. So today we're going to talk about a fun subject, the subject of money. We can all admit that money is a necessary thing in our world. We need it to survive on many levels. So I ask myself this question all the time. If it's so imperative that we have it, everybody deals with it, why do so many people have such a negative attitude about it? Because, your money mindset matters. Now, I'm not going to tell you how much money you need. I'm not going to tell you how to use your money. And I'm not going to really tell you how important it is. But I am going to tell you not to be afraid of it. Do not run from it. Money should not be scary to you. And if it is, you have the wrong money mindset. I will say that having some money is better than not having money. And I have been on both sides of that equation. When Diana and I first got married, we really had no money. Very little. We had to scrape by. We had to budget very, very carefully. Diana was in school full time and she had a waitressing job. And when she would get home from that waitressing job at the end of the week, we would literally pour out her tips on the floor and we would count up all this change and these dollar bills. And, occasionally she was lucky enough to get something more than $1. But, this is how much we relied on this because that was our grocery money. That's how we could afford to eat, was how many tips she got at her waitressing job. Now, a few years later, though, it became a completely different story, and we were on the other side of that. And we had money in the bank, we had owned properties, things were going much better financially. And why? Why was that? Why did it change? It's because my money mindset was right. So when you embrace the idea of having money, and you assert that you're going to manage it well, you will have more of it. Now, there's no money genie here that we're not going to rub a lamp and the genie's going to pop out and we're going to say that all of a sudden we're rich. That's not what's going to happen. But it's going to come to you because your mind is accepting of it and that you have informed yourself that you will handle it well. That is the correct money mindset. So let's talk about some common money bad attitudes or bad beliefs. I hear them commonly. I'm sure you've heard them. Maybe you even think one of them. The first one is, money is evil and doesn't do any good. Good people don't have money. Well, that's wrong because money can be a powerful tool for good. Here's another one. No matter what, I will never have enough money. Well, again, that's wrong because you're just not managing it right. And here's a third bad attitude I've heard. I don't have money because my boss is a cheapskate and he won't give me a raise. That's also wrong. And, we need to talk about your work life. We need to talk about, maybe rather than placing blame on others, to figure out how you should assert yourself in life so that you'll have that raise and that better job. So all in all, those are just wrong. Those are bad attitudes. They're just wrong. They're not good money mindsets. And how do we really know that? We know that because none of those three None of those are the perceptions of people that have money. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we're going to be rich. I'm not saying everyone will be millionaires and billionaires. But just by changing our mindset on money, we can have more of it. We can be better with it, and we can live more comfortably. Doesn't that sound good? I often talk about how I grew up. I grew up in the farm crisis in the Midwest in the 1980s, and that was a rough time for farm families, and my family had been generations of farmers, and they'd been very successful in the 80s, were very, very difficult. And so, money was scarce, and it had to go for feeding the livestock. It had to go for, really imperative things. And so I didn't have a lot of toys. So back then, I played with empty milk jugs and cardboard boxes, and I had a great time. I had a great time doing that, but money was scarce. We didn't have a lot of fancy toys. And then continuing on, like I said, when Diana and I got married, we were counting her tips for grocery money. But I made sure, even through all of that I approached money wisely, so that by my mid-20s, I would be on the other end of not having money. And that really feels a lot better to be on the other end. And then throughout the next 15 years of my life, any time that my money mindset wavered, and any of those bad attitudes or those bad beliefs came into my head, over time I would start to see a change in my bank account, and it wasn't good. And so I would check my money mindset again. So let's talk about what you can do and what we're going to do to change this money mindset. Well, we're going to take action, right? We're going to take action, of course. So number one, we are going to inform our mind that money isn't a bad thing and that we are open to it. And I love affirmations. So let's try this one. Money flows to me and I manage it well. I'll say that again. Money flows to me and I manage it well. That's easy enough, right? Number two, we're literally going to start managing our money better. If we're not on a budget, start one. Get hooked up with a good money management course. There's many of them out there. There's many philosophies on that. Most of them are good. Get started with that. And then if we have lots of debt, get on a plan to pay it off. If you don't have any savings, start putting anything aside. I don't care if it's $1. I don't care if it's $5. I don't care if it's $10 a month. Put something aside, because it's just the action of doing it that's going to get you started. Number three, we're going to work together. Accountability is key to making this change in your life. So if it's you and your spouse that, struggle with money mindset, use each other as accountability partners and challenge each other to stick with that budget. Put the money away. That's key. And then if you have a parent, maybe, that is really good with their money, you can look to them for support and encouragement. That's really what we've got to do overall here, is support and encourage each other on this path, on the path to breaking these bad money habits. Accountability is vital. And then number four, don't be stupid. And I say that with all the love in my heart. Don't be stupid with your money. I don't want you to start thinking, well, Justin said that I have lots of money. It's coming to me, so I need to go on a spending spree and buy a boat. That's not what I'm saying. Some people believe that you can act like that and the money will come to you. But that's really not the safest, smartest way to approach this. And we want to be smart, right? So I fully believe in getting things that you want. I want great things for you. But let's put a plan behind it. Let's get our money mindset in order. Let's make the plan. Let's take the steps. And then you're going to have that thing that you want. Or you might discover along the way that you don't even actually need that thing that you want, or it may change to something that's more important to you. So if you do those things, those 4 things, if you do the affirmation, start getting on a plan to save or pay down debt or just manage your money better in general. If you find accountability, and then if you just don't do ridiculous things with your money, you're going to be on the path to changing your money mindset. And soon your financial life will be more empowered, more abundant. And most importantly, it's going to be less stressful. We all have enough stress in our lives that if we can get rid of some stress, isn't that a great thing? So this is going to get rid of a lot of financial stress. Because remember, there's no reason for money to be scary to you. It's just a fact of life. We need to deal with it. We need to wrap our head around it, change our money mindset. And I guarantee if you do that, you'll be blessed. Thanks for listening.
We do want to thank you for listening today. We trust you have been encouraged and inspired. Visit JustinHillOfficial.com for more resources, including our daily truth quotes, books, and more. And don't forget to subscribe to this podcast. Be blessed.